Hey, and welcome back to Creatives in the Spotlight. I'm the show's creator and host, Paul Hurley. Today I have Brett Gordon with me today. Now, she is also in the entertainment industry, but in a little different field. We haven't quite covered writing and poetry yet. So, Brett, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you got going on over here with your poetry.
Okay, so I just finished my Masters of Fine Arts in creative writing from West Virginia Wesleyan College, and I did the poetry track. You could split it between poetry, creative nonfiction, or fiction. And I found out very quickly I'm not a fiction writer, but poetry seemed to stick. And so I was kind of thrown into poetry, jumped right in, both feet, and worked really hard during the program. And I don't know, I came out, I learned a lot. And my first summer there in 2023, I ended up winning a chapbook contest through Jack Wild Publishing. Shout out to them. They've been super supportive throughout the past few years, and they're a great indie publisher. So they published my first chapbook, and I said, well, that's a good sign. So I kept on with the program and just finished it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know, a lot of people get into writing and they never get anything published.
Mm-hmm.
My mother wrote under another alias at one time.
Ooh, I
She was in Reader's Digest a few times.
Oh, that's cool.
She enjoys writing as well. And I always thought it was unique to be able to kind of get in there and just tell that story, or to let it flow into words that people like us can turn around and make into film and so on and so forth. So it all starts somewhere. And you're right there at the breaking gate of, hey, this is how it gets started. So what inspired you to get into it? About what age were you?
Well, I was telling you earlier that I really started writing when I was a little kid. I would write like newspaper articles for the Daily Teddy, and just always kind of had these writing things that I would do. And I figured out that I had a knack for it when I don't think that they do this anymore, maybe in public schools, but they used to have a writing test I think in fourth grade and seventh grade. And you would score it like 1 to 4. And I got 4s on both and was one of the only people in our school to get a 4 on the writing test. So, and this was just me making stuff up for a story. I'd probably give you a prompt and I would just make up a story, and they liked it. So I thought, oh, maybe this is something I would like to do in the future. When I got to undergraduate, I went to UNC Wilmington, and I thought, well, I think I was not confident enough to do creative writing. And I thought, what kind of job am I going to do a creative writing major? I don't know. So I was trying to be practical. So I thought maybe journalism, that I can write, I can make a living. So I kind of pieced together a journalism major through their English. I studied English and communication studies, and it was great. But then I graduated right during the housing crisis. So even veteran journalists weren't getting hired for jobs. So I thought, okay, well, what now? So I went on and got a teaching license and taught for a year at Wake Tech Community College. And then I got hired as a flight attendant and thought, well, that'll be fun. I'm 25, travel. I can't afford to travel. It's very expensive for Americans to travel. And so I was like, this is perfect. I want to do that I'll do it for 3 years. It's kind of a running joke. I'll just do this for 3 years and then leave and do something else. And it's 13 years later and I'm still at it. But I really do love the lifestyle and the flexibility. And it's great, like writing inspiration. So when I first started, I tried to, I wrote a little travel blog and I wrote some articles for the Red Cross but nothing really took off so well. And so I don't know. I think I was looking for like some sort of creative outlet. And I have a lot of friends back home who are musicians and singers. And so I thought, well, I can write. Maybe I can write some songs for them or something, just some way to get involved and have some sort of creative thing that I like to do, I'm good at, and can contribute in some way. And so the songs I was writing ended up kind of turning more into poetry. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll take a poetry workshop. That'd be really cool. And so I applied for to audit this summer residency, a poetry residency at West Virginia Wesleyan College. And it turns out I had accidentally applied for the whole MFA program and I got in. And so I wasn't planning on going back to school. I'd already done a lot of school. I said, I'm not going to do any more school. But I got in, and took a few days to consider, like, do I really want to do this? And the financial costs and things like that. And it just all kind of worked itself out. So I said, it's my mom. She always wanted to be a writer. She ended up being a nurse, but she wanted to be a writer. And so I think she died during the pandemic. So I was like, that's my mom pushing me, I think, to do this. So I did it, and it's been great. It's been amazing.
That's awesome. So where do you get your inspiration to keep going? Is it your mother,
Yeah.
knowing that she would be proud of you?
Yeah, it's a lot that it took me a long time to write about her. And I'm still kind of not comfortable writing about myself so much or my life directly. So I like writing a lot of persona poems. I wrote one poem from the persona of kudzu because I thought it's misunderstood. It needs to be. And so anytime you write even about something else or someone else or from a different perspective, you're still in it. So it's kind of my way to write about myself without writing directly about myself. But yeah, my gosh, inspiration comes from anywhere. A lot of music. I grew up in a really musical household. So like Motown and Journey in Boston and all these like the classic rock. I still listen to all of it. I don't even know what's new music anymore. I just have what I like. And so a lot of that, my inspiration comes.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Don't even look at my Apple phone.
It's the same. Yeah. I have a hard time integrating new stuff. I'm like, I like what I like.
Right.
Yeah.
At least you know that much.
Yeah.
So your book here, you've got one,
Oh, yeah.
I believe, online.
Yes, this is the chapbook that I won. So there's a difference between a chapbook and a full poetry collection.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say they're not hard and fast rules, but a chapbook is just it's a smaller, shorter book of just. It can even be just random poems, whereas a poetry collection is usually at least like 40 to 50, all the way to 100 or hundreds of poems that they're strategically placed to where they're in conversation with one another, and they kind of flow, like one piece will flow into the next piece. So these are just kind of randomly put in there, but that's how it's supposed to be. So
they flow like that. That's I guess the only thing that kind of clicked is to, be similar to that would be switching personalities.
Oh, how do you mean?
Well, like, each poem tells a different story, right? So
yeah.
it could be perceived as a mood or an expression.
Yeah.
So then you're switching gears and going to another with a different feeling, a different meaning. So
yeah,
almost like changing gears into a multiple personality.
A little bit. Yeah. And you can see that in these, but
that would be awesome. Now I'm intrigued.
Okay, good. Well, I brought you a copy.
Awesome.
It's called If It Calls Your Name, Poems by Brett Gordon. And the cover art is by a local artist named Jessica Burchett. She's amazing. That's hand-drawn. So I was very lucky to be able to use that. It's a lot of, I moved back to Appalachia or Appalachia Light. So it's a lot of kind of Appalachian themed, folklore themed poems. So if
That's
you're into that
awesome.
stuff, you might like it. There you go.
Guys, this is the book. So right at I guess you got a link here.
Yes. You can get it through jackwildpublishing.co, or it's on Amazon, or you can buy it from me.
Just click the link here on the show and check it out.
Yep.
I'm going to read.
Yeah, keep it. That one's yours. I brought that just for you.
Okay, and you've got a couple other books out here. I think you've got some authors that inspire you.
Yeah. I brought these because these are some of the people that I have learned the most from. So my grade A mentor, Doug Van Gundy, he is the director of our MFA program. This was his first collection called A Life Above Water. And he's just a fantastic writer. I think he's sitting on I want to say he said over 10,000 unpublished poems. And it's not that they're not publishable. I don't know why he sits on them. He needs to get them out there. But he's an amazing poet. And I'm really inspired by the way he lives his life as a creative person. Wow. He always carries a notebook. You can see him just jotting words or colors or ideas or anything. So we've gotten really close over the program. And because of my job, him and his wife were in London, I think it was May of last year, and I had a layover in London. So I got to just meet up and have a beer with my teacher. And so it was really cool. And then I brought one from Irene McKinney, she started our program at West Virginia Wesleyan College. And this is kind of sad, but she wrote this particular collection, Have You Had Enough Darkness Yet?, when she was dying of cancer. And so it's very just poignant, and it talks a lot about spirituality. And I just found it really moving. And she's someone I wish I had been able to meet, because she was like a West Virginia Appalachian woman and a poet, and so like just poetic. And she was the West Virginia Poet Laureate for a number of years. Yep.
I take it she's lost her fight with cancer.
Yeah, before I ever got to meet her. And so I think that maybe Doug took over the program from her, but it's a very tight-knit community up there. So, yeah. But yeah, so.
In film, whenever you get on a project, you become like a film family. And I imagine a lot of writers are the same way. You kind of have your cliques and your groups.
Yeah.
It's like a family.
We call it, there's also, I learned a kind of being a good literary citizen. And it's, I think you've talked about it on your other podcasts, how the arts can be very competitive.
They can.
Yeah. And I think it's all about like this scarcity mindset. There's not enough roles. There's not enough publishers. There's not enough. And maybe it's a little bit about there's a million roles. There's if you have more of this abundance, there's enough for everyone. There's enough, even if, I think it's just about maybe being more open to what comes along instead of like zoning. I'm really bad to be like, I want that publisher. I want that. And if it doesn't work out, you're heartbroken. But if you're just kind of open, things can work out you couldn't even plan it better than So I think that being a good literary citizen and being a good creative citizen, like what you're doing with your podcast, just being more supportive and creating this collaborative community is so important.
Well, there's so much talent here that, if we started more or less getting more network and together.
Yeah.
Larger groups make big things happen.
It's true.
So I think if we get enough notoriety of the talent in this area, the more doors and avenues for advancement. And
the more projects happen, which creates more opportunities. It's true. Nothing but good things.
That's right. That's right. So, that's kind of what I wanted to do with this show is bring on a guest and tell us, a little bit about themselves and what they do, what they specialize in.
Yeah.
And, to kind of give our watchers a little bit of inside look at, hey, we're regular people, but this is what our passion is. And, we're doing our best to express that in the only ways that we're really good at so that we can get, our point across and get our feelings.
That connection.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I always wonder in acting, how do you memorize lines? My memory is so bad. How do you go about memorizing your lines? Do you have a trick that you?
Well, I read the script over and over until I can recite it. It's like watching something on TV. You watch it. But then I'll actually act it out and play it.
Okay.
And then that's called character development, where you really just go in and own that character.
Okay.
And I'm actually going through that.
Right now?
I'm putting it off till... well, I've got another film to do on the 19th and another one to do on the 27th.
Oh, wow.
2 separate
coming
films.
up, yeah.
2 different characters, one a detective, the other a cop. So I've got to get that mindset.
Yeah, and keep them straight.
Right.
Those are really close together.
Really read the script, because when you don't have a whole lot of communication between the rest of the crew or the writer, then you don't really know what that writer is perceiving that character to be. You're just reading the story. You don't know, this guy's just, attitude.
Yeah.
And character development is very crucial. I have 2 separate ones to know. Luckily, I've done them both.
You're a pro.
So
I
wouldn't say that, but I've done them both. I can pull it off. But yeah, all the next 2.5 weeks, I'm cramming a script. So.
Wow. And is that something the director helps you with? Like when you're filming, do they help give you direction about how to play that a little bit more? Okay.
Because
that's good.
They know the shot that they want.
Okay.
And if you go in there and you just do it and they're like, oh my God, that was perfect, then you nailed it.
Good. Okay.
If they're like, hey, a good director will pull you to the side and say, hey, give me more,
okay,
more gusto, more projection, more,
Seems like the direction would really help. Yeah.
It really does.
Okay.
And then of course you can change your character from there. I don't really necessarily in most cases, learn my character beforehand because the director may have a different perception.
Okay.
If I have, a lot of good communication with the director and I know him, I'm like, hey, what
Then
do
you
you
can work
envision in
on-
this,
Yeah.
And he'll refer me to watch Goodfellas or watch, this or watch that to kind of get an idea
Okay.
and name a character that they're leaning toward wanting to portray in the story.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
yeah, it's fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's changing gears. It's going into different personalities.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I think a lot of creativity does that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the in unintended ADHD
Yeah.
genre,
I never thought about it like that, but you're true. So am I your first poet on the podcast?
Yes.
Oh,
you are.
cool.
We
Okay.
haven't had a writer or a poet.
Oh,
yet,
wow.
so
Okay.
You're the first.
Thanks.
Yeah, we really appreciate you coming on the show. We're going to take a quick break, though. So just a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back to see you.
Looking to shoot in a set like this? Noda Art House has sets, props, backdrops, a psych wall, all at affordable rates and for private full access. Book at the link below.
Hey, welcome back to Creatives in the Spotlight. Brett and I were just chit-chatting a little bit, and I think she's got a couple things that she wants to share that I found very, very informative. You are actually kind of a spokesperson or something or other for the poets in your area?
Yeah, so I'm from a small town called Pilot Mountain, and it's northwest, just at the base of the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. And it's a great little town with lots of artistic talent, lots of musical talent, painters, writers. It's a great area. And the town, I think it was back in March, they actually named me their first honorary Poet Laureate, which is, it's like a representative or sort of a spokesperson to promote arts and literacy within the town. So we've been trying to come up with some ideas, how to create some initiatives. I think in the fall, we're going to have an art walk on Main Street. So I'm going to do a poetry booth. There's a type of poetry called ekphrastic poetry, and it's where you write about artwork. So have you ever heard of this kind of one they teach? It's like they teach it all the time in high school. It's called Ode to a Grecian Urn.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is an example of an ekphrastic poem. He's writing this poem about the urn. So I thought, that's how I can tie poetry in with the artwork and have maybe people, like pick a piece that they like or that speaks to them. And so you can write it about your experience looking at the artwork. You can write it from a character in the artwork. There's so many ways to... We call it like kind of entering the poem. There's so many different ways that you can write about it.
Okay.
So doing things like that in the town, and I do like a Saturday morning poetry reading series, and we post it on the library's Facebook page. So that's been fun to start. So just getting more exposure for poetry in the town, and
That's awesome. I mean, obviously you have.
Yeah.
So So as far as any kind of schooling or anything like that, you went through quite a bit of that, right?
Yeah. Yes. So my master's in fine arts that I just finished, it was all poetry all the time. So I read a lot. It's 4 semesters. So my first semester, I mostly focused on Appalachian poets. And, it's typically considered like a flyover region. It's overlooked, marginalized. There's a lot of talent there. There's some super good writers and all these like folk artists. And so I just wanted to delve into that, having moved back home, being traveled all over the world, and then come back to my small town in Southern Appalachia. I just wanted to study that more. And then it dovetailed into my second semester where I studied Irish poetry, it's so similar because so many of the Irish settled in Appalachia that there's a lot of overlap in what they write about, the styles that they write. There's a lot of musicality to their poetry and kind of lyricism in their writing. And so it was really cool. And then my last semester, I just studied world poetry. I thought, well, I'll travel. So I did a little bit of Brazilian poets and Russian poets and just from everywhere. So I tried to get a really good background and basis because I felt like I was starting late, and there's still like a drop in the bucket of everything there is to learn in this field. So yeah, I'm glad I kind of have like a good foundation laid, and now I can just study at my leisure.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Pilot Mountain, that's where they shot Andy Griffin.
Yeah, yep.
Mayberry.
He's from, so about, I want to say it's 8 miles up the road is the town of Mount Airy. That's Mayberry. And then we're Mount Pilot from the show. So they're, I think, kind of like sister cities. We're in the same county and we're covered under the same arts council and stuff. So
That's awesome.
Yeah,
There's
it's
lot
a
of
great
talent
community.
There, so
There is. Yep.
that is fantastic. Now, you had an instance occur or something or other with your school study group or
Yeah.
group? Yeah, what went on there? Tell
Okay.
me about that.
Okay, so my very first summer residency, there were only 3 poets. So it was kind of a small group, and we're still good friends to this day, me and the 2 other poets, and we're all very different personalities, very different styles of poetry, but we get along really well. And so we came into class one day, having done a homework assignment that Doug Van Gundy had given us, and we all 3 did it wrong, and we did it wrong in different ways, to which Doug was like, fucking poets, man. Like, I can't even with these poets. So I think he wasn't having the best day already, but then that became kind of our slogan for the rest of our, like, the rest of the fucking poets, man. We're the bad kids. We did like, and so that's poets, man. But
That's
we tried.
great.
We all did the assignment.
Right.
But yeah,
But
just
failed
that's
in 3 different ways.
yeah, 3 different ways.
That's epic.
Very creative.
I think I was on that panel. Well, Brett, it has been an absolute joy to have you on the show today. I'm going to definitely read your book.
Thank you.
And I look to see more from you in the future. So
I appreciate it. I'm so glad you had me on. It's been
I
fun.
mean, it was a pleasure. And do you have an Instagram link or anything you'd like to share?
I do, yeah. magnoliawriting.co is my Instagram handle. So,
Awesome.
Yeah,
That way we can follow you and see what you got coming out next.
that'd be great. Thank you.
Brett, thank you again so much for coming
Thank
out.
you. Thanks
I
for
hope you
having
have
me.
a great evening. And guys, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.